So, speaking of fan-made games, we have the Game Awards nominees. Which, by the way, I found out after reading this article, Nintendo is helping to arrange the Game Awards. I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean?
Let me actually take a quick look in here to see. I don't know if we've already passed the Game Awards, like if they've already happened. I think they may have happened this week. But so the show called the Game Awards, which is exactly what it sounds like.
What's the Game Awards, Steven?
The Game Awards is where they give awards out to games.
Whoa, that sounds awesome.
I never would have figured that out. So, they have a category for fan games. Fan games, that's important. So, it came out later this week that Nintendo helped organize the Game Awards show. And as a result, the two infamous fan-made games that we've been discussing here these months, Pokemon Uranium,
another Metroid 2 thingy.
Another Metroid 2 remake.
That one,
yeah. Those games were in the category to win an award for, basically best fan-made game, and they got cut. Because they,
because they don't exist anymore, technically, right?
Oh, they're still out there.
But like technically, they don't exist. So I guess I can kind of understand why they're cut is because they're not technically even games anymore.
But that is not why they got cut, though.
Yeah, I know.
There's no way. When this didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I thought at first, maybe Nintendo like approached like the organizers of the Game Awards and they're like, look, we've hit them with DMCA claims and they're not allowed to be doing this, so it'd kind of be weird if you guys did it. No, that's not the case at all. Nintendo is actually helping put this event together, or they helped put this event together. So that's why. But Nintendo, the whole point of the fan games category is to award good fan games.
And that's what annoys me is that these are two perfectly eligible candidates. Like, they could be very well deserving of that award. Like, from what I hear about Pokemon Uranium is that it was really cool. But it's like, nope, can't win the award now. Which, it doesn't affect them that much because in the end it is just an award, but it's still really annoying just when they actually could be deserving of it and now it's taken away from them.
Yeah, and I mean, no one likes it when a big company starts to throw its weight around just because they don't like something. I mean, honestly, there would be no... I think the reason why they... Let me play devil's advocate here for a second. The thing that Nintendo probably had to do, since they're putting this on, and they may not have had a choice in the matter, to be honest. They may have legally felt like they were legally obligated to basically say, hey, they either get cut or it's either us or them. Basically, like you can have our help in organizing this. Or, you can drop those two games that we've issued claims against. It could have been that situation. I don't know. I just know that I can't stand the way that Nintendo is handling things. Regardless of the fact that, Pokemon Uranium, and we've talked about how they could have gotten around things by, not using actual Pokemon. They could have just used the concept and used different monsters. Don't call them Pokeballs, call them something else. You could have very easily made this into something that Nintendo couldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, legally speaking. Metroid 2, that it is a remake of their game, but I mean, people have been doing this for years. And I just it bugs me every time I see another story about Nintendo took this down, or now Nintendo's doing that.
It kind of gets old, really.
It does get old, and I think the takeaway from this is there has to be a better way to handle this. There has to be a way that fans can do projects that they can share with other people, and also like Nintendo is able to like also benefit from it,
which naturally is usually the course.
I would argue that they benefit from it anyway. Pokemon Uranium, a bunch of people get into Pokemon Uranium, it might reignite their interest in the Pokemon series, and then they go out and they buy Sun and Moon, whereas they normally wouldn't have. It's like they're not seeing the big picture. They're not seeing the positives. They're only seeing the negative side effects. Where like, oh well, these people are making money off of our intellectual property. Well, that's one way of looking at it, yes, but there's also benefits to that. You're not paying a dime for them to do these things.
It's. I mean, but in a way, it's kind of cashing in on something that's already been made, and I can see how they would think that. I mean, because it's not like you have to come up with your own original idea to make money off of that game. You can just make it on something that's already been made, and people see it and go, "Oh, I already like this, so I know I want to play it." That's kind of the way that they could be playing off of Nintendo.
Yeah.
But like just even like I don't know, Nintendo could do a thing where like they could get a small percentage of some of it, like just a small percentage.
Royalties.
Like, because and then people could at least could still do it if they wanted to. It's not just off the table like completely.
Yeah, and I've made the comparison to what Sega does with people that make fan games. Number one, they don't go after them, and secondly, in some cases, they hire them.
Utopia, cough, cough.
Well, yeah, Utopia. You're not going to see Sega go after them. They might even recruit the maker of that game, but. And I understand two different situations. Sega is in a very major financial crisis right now, where they're barely staying afloat.
Nintendo,
whereas Nintendo's like,
sitting on
we're swimming in money.
They're sitting on the throne of Wii U's.
Yeah, they don't.
the leftover Wii U boxes.
But even with the Wii U's not selling, they're still sitting on a ton of cash
from the Wii.
Yeah, and the thing is like they don't. As long as their handheld does well, it doesn't matter what their portable. It almost doesn't matter what their console does. So, are they comparable in a way? No, they're not. And maybe the case would be different if Sega had a bunch of money and they were like, they might be like, no, we're going to protect our copyrighted property, and you just can't do this. I don't know. I can't say that. We're not in that situation. But I'm just getting tired of it, Nintendo.
Yeah, ultimately, I just don't see that these fan-made games for Nintendo stuff would have that big of a negative effect on Nintendo as a whole. Yeah. It's just dumb.
And in this situation, I honestly think they could have just let it slide. Just let who cares if you're doing the games
are already gone. Let them get awards at least if that's what they like. I don't know.
Yeah. Whole situation just stinks.